Well, right now, as he asked earlier, how many are in operation right now, and I believe it's 7. One's in storage, which is F6.
Storage means it still can be used later?
It can be used later.
Out of service?
No, it's not out of service. It's just in storage, meaning that if one of the other satellites have, a problem, an anomaly, what we call an anomaly, we can pull that one out of storage and put it in operation. Same with this one. This will go through about 3 months of on-orbit testing and then acceptance by the government. And then NASA headquarters and the Space Network at Goddard will determine if this one goes into storage or if it's put into operation. I believe that this one will be drifted east after its initial on-orbit test location. It will be drifted east to over the Atlantic. But in terms of when it being put into operation, that will be determined by NASA headquarters and by the Space Network.
Does storage time in orbit count against lifetime?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. KL&M have a design storage requirement of 4 years. But of those 4 years, the design total mission life requirement is 15 years. So, but like I said, TRW, the old TRW birds, 25 years, 27, 28 years. HIJ's been up there for 12 years. We expect these to last a lot more than 15.
You mentioned some of the LEO spacecraft that we know well, but this also relays data from deep space vehicles as well, or
no?
No, it doesn't.
No, it's usually LEO. No, not usually. That's, to my knowledge, that information is obtained by the Deep Space Network. Now we're there for emergencies. Obviously, if there's emergency situations or critical operations that planetary mission needs, they could call the TDRS constellation up for support. But typically, all that information comes back through the Deep Space Network, which is part of NASA.
And is NASA the only user of TDRS, or is there like DoD or anyone else?
NASA, to my knowledge, NASA is the only user of this constellation.
I know DoD had some circuitry on the first TDRS birds, the TRW birds, because I remember writing about it.
Okay.
But obviously that's not the case anymore, is what you're saying.
No, the DoD has their own constellation of
communication.
Yeah,
I
they
didn't know if there was anything left on these.
They launch more missions than NASA does. I'm sure you guys know that.
Oh yeah.
So when
and a lot of those are communication satellites.
I know.
So when do you go into the fairing? When do you go out and mate to the vehicle?
Okay, a little bit of the schedule then. So let me kind of give you a history. You probably read this in maybe some of the materials. The spacecraft arrived here on the 6th of December. Was flown from El Segundo to the old shuttle landing facility over on Kennedy. Arrived, I think, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. Transported over here, unpacked, and then moved over and bolted onto the fuel stand. So from like the 7th of December up until, let's say, the 22nd of December, right before Christmas, we did a lot of spacecraft functional testing, electrical testing, to make sure that it survived the transport from California to here. And the transport carrier was a C-17 Air Force transport plane, just like we do on TDRS-L. Between the 16th and the 22nd of December, Boeing fueled the spacecraft with hydrazine and nitrogen tetroxide. So what you're looking at is just not the hardware, but a fueled spacecraft that's ready to be integrated with the launch vehicle. So starting Monday, the 6th, Boeing and NASA and ULA will start the mating operations with the launch vehicle adapter, and that'll take Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday is when After we mate to the launch vehicle adapter, the spacecraft will be moved over to this encapsulation area, and it'll be encapsulated with the Atlas V fairing, which you see behind us. That'll take place all next week. The mating to the adapter and the encapsulation will take all next week. Each one takes about a couple days. The plan then is to transport to Complex 41, or the Atlas V facility, on the morning of the 13th. I think we leave here maybe around 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. We get to the base of the vertical integration facility, or the VIF, probably around 7 or 8 o'clock, maybe 6 o'clock. And once we get the approval that the weather is okay, the winds are not too high or it's not raining, then we'll hoist the encapsulated spacecraft and mate to the launch vehicle. So that should be, if everything goes all right, that should be the 13th, which would be a week from Monday. And then there's a series of tests that have to go on, whether they're standalone tests with the spacecraft once we're mated to the vehicle, or launch vehicle tests that are by themselves. And then there are integrated tests for compatibility between the spacecraft and the launch vehicle. I think we roll out the day before, probably the 22nd, from the VIF to the pad. And then the opening of the window is the 23rd local at 9:05 p.m. and the window is 40 minutes in length. So it can go from 9:05 to 9:45 p.m. Eastern time. We have the capability to launch every day. So if we don't launch on the 23rd, if the range can accommodate us, we'll launch on the 24th, or the 25th, or the 26th. We have the capability to launch any day of the year. We've designed it that way.
And sorry if we missed this earlier, but what is the plans for M?
Right now, M is well, we back up a little bit. NASA contractually exercised the option for the 3rd spacecraft back in November of 2011, I believe. I don't think it's 2012, I think it was 2011. So there was a little bit of a stop in production between KL and M. So for the TDRS-M satellite, we had to go through a series of let's say, design reviews for units or boxes or components, just due to potential obsolescence of parts and materials from the KL spacecraft to M. Just because of technology that's advances so quickly from year to year. So we had a series of reviews for the units and boxes, I think in 2012, which culminated in a mission CDR that year. And right now, we're to a point where Boeing has delivered, I would say probably 99% of all the bus and payload units and components for integration onto the structure, which includes the propulsion system and all the electronics and all the communication systems, all the attitude control mechanisms. The antennas have been fabricated and assembled, and so we're probably about maybe 5-6 months. I would say summer of this year, where that spacecraft will become nearly assembled, and we'll start system level testing probably this coming fall, or probably September, October. Right now, NASA has a contracted launch date with Boeing to launch TDRS-M in December of 2015.
What's the cost of